Hello everyone. So this particular video is about the transition from old to new scheme, new syllabus, right? And it is relevant for CMA final law. Okay. So CMA final law transition from old syllabus to new syllabus that is relevant for June 24 examination. Now there are a lot of students who could not for whatsoever reason clear or crack their examination of old syllabus and now are being converted into new syllabus, right? So, what to do, ma'am? See, you have ample of choices available. You can go for fresh classes, you can go for fresh books, and in such cases, you get the piece of guidance in the form of a cakewalk that you want. But for students who cannot, for some reason, afford fresh classes or that renewal or whatever part it is, or new books, and you still want an option, or how should we proceed, ma'am? How can we read new syllabus? And how can we prepare ourselves for examination, then this video is right here for you. Now, what does it comprise of? Here is a PDF which I am briefing you through, and this PDF can be obtained by you, the link of which you'll find in the description, and you can obtain this PDF. Now, what you have to do is you have to begin with a chapter. After you begin with a chapter, I have clearly mentioned, although it is advisable that you refer the new study material, but it happens that, okay, students are comfortable with some old material only and they want to continue with that only because they have done a lot of notes, note making or workings have been added to that. So, what is the content or what is the portion that I can read from my old material also? That sometimes students want to know, right? So, if I talk about the very first chapter, that is company formation and conversion, right? In this, there are certain things which are added new, which you must go through from your examination perspective. This portion, the conversion of company into LLP, ma'am, it was earlier also. Yes, it was earlier also, but now it has been made into very detailed manner, right? There are some provisions like nidhis, producer companies, and some sections of foreign companies also deleted. Okay. So there is some content which has been removed from the new syllabus, and there is some content which has been added to the new syllabus, right? Broadly, if I take you through, the weightage has also been changed. In the old syllabus, we prima facie had three sections: Companies Act including IBC, which had 60% weightage. So Companies Act was 50% and IBC was 10%. IBC stands the same at 10%, but Companies Act coverage or weightage has been reduced. Now it is only 40% because Companies Act content has also been removed. Winding up offences and penalties, NCLT, special codes, they all have been removed. In fact, companies incorporated outside India, this chapter also has been removed. Only the content that was included in chapter number 1 is still there. And that too, some sections have been excluded. So I have written it over there. Right. Now, if I talk about corporate governance, earlier it was 15%, now it is only 10%. Okay, and section B other laws only 25 marks, but now economic laws and regulations carry a whopping 40 marks or 40% weightage is there, right? So accordingly, you have to prepare yourself. Of course, there are a lot of deletions also from the old syllabus, so that in that part you can consider yourself to be lucky, but at the same time there are addition also. But overall, I would say the syllabus has been reduced. The syllabus has been made somewhat in control of the students, so that is the good news coming your way. Now, if I talk about the next chapter, investment and loans, there is some portion of different types of debentures which has been added, the debt instruments and all. If I talk about the chapter of dividend, you have to specifically, these can be done with reading also, dividend distribution policy and financial parameters. Now, if I talk about these chapters, well, there are not any major changes. When I am saying these changes, please add this to your disclaimer, I would say that these are all the major identified changes. These are not in-depth word by word changes. This is only to ace or aid you in your preparation, because you're already prepared. You have read what directives are. The law remains the same, and so is your content coverage also. Okay, of course, the way of presenting, some up, some down, some these changes, I don't consider them to be very important. So I have highlighted and I have identified the major changes for your reference. When I talk about the chapter of corporate governance, I would never advise you to go to the old syllabus book and read it, because the entire content has been changed. Okay, so you don't have to read all those committees, and there is a huge change. Okay, I would say of the entire corporate governance, maybe 5-10% still remains there. Otherwise, it has been replaced with a new way of presenting. Of course, the concept remains the same, but it is entirely different when it comes from examination perspective. So what you have to write in examination, it's going to be entirely different, and it carries 10 marks. So you cannot just ignore it. So read it fresh, fine, with the new book. Now, when I talk about SEBI laws and regulations, oh my God, SEBI Act, SEBI Loader, SCRA, everything has been deleted. So, what has been added? Now you have SEBI Prohibition of Insider Trading Regulations. Ma'am, this was earlier also, but it was very small, right? The coverage was very small. Now they have been added in detail. You have the takeover code that you have to read for SEBI. That is something that has been added. Now, earlier also there were SEBI ICDR regulations. Now also there are SEBI ICDR regulations, which we talk about initial public offer and all that. So that content is there now also. In Competition Act, there is no major change. In FEMA, ECB has been added, LRS has been added. Now, if I talk about laws relating to banking sector, role of RBI has been added. That is a separate topic which has been added. Now, if I talk about insurance sector, there is no major change. MSME security, these are the new chapters which have been added. And in money laundering, these rules have been added. And earlier, we also had to read about the role of cost accountants and some strict, different type of things with respect to tackling black money that has been deleted. Okay, so prima facie, these are the major changes chapter wise, which has been identified for your reference. So you can use this particular PDF, you can download it, you can keep it with you, and whenever you're revising a particular chapter, because if you could somehow get maybe 53, 54, 55 in law in your previous examination, and for some reason you could not clear the group and you have to appear for your examination again, so what is going to happen is your preparation was somehow good in law, and now you just need to know, or you just want to know, okay, what are the changes? I will refer to that and I will just revise what I've read earlier and I will give my examination. So if you're in that phase or that dilemma, I would just advise go through this particular PDF. Whenever you're reading chapter number 1, make note of the identified changes, make those changes accordingly in your material that you're referring to, and thereafter revise. So for every chapter, make those changes, incorporate those changes, and then you will have a ready material before examination, right? So wish you all the very best. Thank you.